If you like this video, why not subscribe?
Welcome back, everyone, to the weekly recap Q&A. That's the show where I sit in my portable sound booth, namely my car, talk about questions from last week, and also share links accumulated on Twitter and Facebook down below in the description, so check those out. There won't be a lot visually in this show to look at, maybe the occasional annotation referring to the video that I'm mentioning. So if you want to tab away and just listen, it's kind of like a podcast. So let's talk about last week. The question was, where do you audition? And we talked about... I mentioned that I sometimes will use the library or answer the question using the library. People gave me lots of great suggestions where they audition. If you want to refer back to that video, you can check all the comments. Lots of great information. Really appreciate all the input and support people provide by leaving their comments. That's very helpful. A t-shirt update. The 30 shirt pre-order was met. Actually, I think we ended up with 34. So those are being printed this week, and they will be rolling out, shipped on the 27th, which I believe is Friday. So look for your shirt. I'm looking forward to getting mine. And just so that there's no dearth in the availability of t-shirts, we're moving on to the next logo by Drew Sherman. And also the t-shirt will be black. It'll be a white logo on black. It's what I call the stretching dollar logo that Drew created, which is really great. So go to the link below if you want a new t-shirt or a black t-shirt. If you'd like a white on black version of the last logo, the Taylor Mosby logo, leave me feedback, leave me an email, the Frugal Filmmaker at Gmail, and maybe we'll cycle that one in again, a slightly different version. Great logo, by the way, another great logo by Drew. So that's the deal there. Let's go ahead and move on to our questions for this week. The first one comes from Automatic. This is a comment on YouTube from the last video, the Where Do You Audition video. And Automatic says, I've never auditioned actors before. How is a good way to conduct an audition? A friend of mine, filmmaker friend, Chris Henderson, has been a guest blogger on my blog at thefrugalfilmmaker.com before, and he wrote a fantastic 3-part article called Casting Your Micro-Budget Film. And I'm going to leave the links below to that. It's really good. It's 3 parts, and there's just tons of great information there about auditioning actors. Gives all kinds of great insight. So I highly recommend you read that 3-part article. I really don't have anything I can possibly add to Chris's writing because it's just great, and there's just lots of good information. So I would definitely say check that out. Read all 3 parts. That should answer any questions. If you had any other comments or questions for those articles, you can always comment on the blog. So that's what I recommend there. The next one comes from Kyle is the Greatest, also on YouTube, commenting on the Where Do You Audition recap from last week. He says, how do you go about doing a storyboard? I want to make a short film and know how much a storyboard would help. Do you use storyboards, and how do you make them? I can't draw, so I usually take pictures of settings and locations and sketch on them, but it takes so long. What do you do? Well, I agree. Storyboards are really great. I mean, they really help me, if I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to shoot a scene, but they do take a long time. It's drudgery, and I wish there was a faster and easier way to do it, especially if you're not an artist. I completely sympathize with you, Kyle. I'm not an artist either as far as sketching goes. So what I typically do is, and I'll provide a link to a basic storyboard. I mean, there's all kinds of basic storyboard templates on the internet. I'm going to just leave the one that I typically use, which I think is like a 12 cell or 12 frame storyboard. It's blank with just a few lines under. It's really simple, but that's what I use. I just do simple sketches, stick figures. I've been thinking about a simpler way to do this because the big problem, I think, is if I want to get them into a program like Celtx, a screenwriting program, to streamline things and make things easier, well, then you have to scan the storyboards you've just drawn, your stick figures on your template, and take them individually, clip them out, and put them into Celtx. And I think a better way of doing that, and this is something I'm looking into, maybe a future episode or a tip episode or something, is to get a graphics tablet, a simple, cheap graphics tablet, because you can sketch within Celtx. So I thought, well, why not just take a graphics tablet and get into the Celtx program and use your sketch right through the graphics tablet into the program. That'll help eliminate a couple steps, which I think would be great. Of course, I haven't tested this yet, to see how well this works with Celtx. And if you're wondering what Celtx is, it's a screenwriting program. It's free. I'll leave the link below. So that's what I would do. I mean, either way, you really can't get around it. I don't know if there's a simpler way. Taking pictures isn't a bad idea, and sketching on them like you're doing, but that takes even more time, and you're still sketching anyway. So that's what I've been thinking about. I just wanted to get one of these graphics tablets. The cheapest one I found is about 20 bucks. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. But when I do, I'll do a tip episode, I believe, and see how it works. So that's what I would do, Kyle. Okay, our final question this week is from Andresig33, also on YouTube, also commenting on the recap video from last week. How often does one cut images? This is a very general question, but are there some rules to consider? And he goes on talking about what he's referring to specifically, and he's talking about editing. So, and later he says, the editor cuts images to the two different cameras that he's using. This type of recording needs a different cutting speed than a scary film. Are there general considerations? So he's just asking about, how do you edit and when do you cut? How do you know when to cut? This is a huge topic. I mean, you could, there's the edit blog, which is one that I read, talks about editing. There's just so many things to consider while you're editing. I don't know if there's really a clear-cut answer here, except that editing is based on timing, and you're right, it does change depending on the content of the material. Sometimes you'll cut faster to create intensity. Sometimes you'll cut slower to create mood. My general answer for this type of question is that it's all instinctive. That might sound weird, but it's a feeling. When I'm cutting and I'm altering the cut or adjusting the cutting, the timing of the cut, it feels right. So that's what I base it on. I just when I'm adjusting things and I play it back, I'm like, oh yeah, that feels right. That's it. It clicks. Something goes off in my brain. So, but as far as if that's a little too nebulous, one thing you can always do, of course, is study movies, watch when they're cutting. An easy trap to get into is cutting specifically on dialogue, as far as, well, when one actor stops speaking, then we cut to the other actor who starts talking. But that's kind of a flat way of editing. You often will see this in the movies where one actor is talking, and before their dialogue's even finished, they cut to the other actor, and that previous dialogue trails over the second actor's image. There's reaction shots where one person will be talking for a while. You'll cut back to the other actor who says nothing, but you hear the first actor talking over their reaction, or maybe they're nodding, or they're not doing anything, but it breaks up the first person talking so that it's not monotonous just to stare at that one person for the amount of time that they're speaking. But again, I mean, that's all depending on the mood you want to create. Sometimes you want to linger on some person talking, even if it's uncomfortable, because that's the mood you're trying to set up for the scene. So like I said, it's all instinctive. It's all how, pay attention to your feelings, pay attention to your reactions. Another good way is also to test your cut. You can screen it for somebody, even if it's just a scene. Say, hey, what do you think of this? And if they say, oh, well, it seems to that seems to be kind of boring because we're just staying on this guy forever, stuff like that. That's a big open question, and maybe I should do an episode on this stuff, because it's something I really haven't even touched, I think, is editing. But it's obviously very important. I'm talking about how to use Sony Vegas every Friday as an editor, but what are the stylistic concerns? What are the techniques? Things like that would be really good to delve into. So great question. I don't think I've had an editing question like that ever. So thank you for sharing that. And that's all the questions for this week. Again, all the links are below if you're interested in the things that have accumulated. Check out the blog at thefrugalfilmmaker.com, where everything is typically posted. There's the Facebook group, which is super active. It's approaching 3,800 members now. If you have a question or want to post a video for criticism or opinion, I should say, critique, that's a good place to do it. Ask a question. Meeting and finding lots of good people, and other great YouTube channels, other blogs, lots of good stuff there. Twitter, I'm at Frugal Filmmaker. If you want to follow me on Twitter, where I basically post links that end up on Facebook as well. You need to start doing more with Twitter. I think there's a lot of potential there just for comments and thoughts. And of course the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/thefrugalfilmmaker. So that's it, everybody. Have a great week. Good luck shooting your movies, and I'll see you on Monday.